السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان والقرآن والإسلام وبمعرفتك. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا واجنبني وبني أن نعبد الأصنام وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Continue to study this section Araf, 7th section of the Quran, and we studied these verses here on the screen 139 and 139, 38 and 139. So just to prepare the background of what we are going to study, the people, the children of Israel, was saved from slavery, and they went through an obstacle which is called in the Quran the ocean, or the sea, or a great river. You can interpret it. The scholars interpret it in different ways, but doesn't matter. On the other side of the world, that they can feel safe. So freed people now they are, but when they met other people, apparently they have not been very much educated in the teachings of the message of the prophet Moses. So they said, "Oh Moses, give us a God like the gods they have, those neighbors." And we understood this as coming to another environment from our belief. So seeing people around us, they are worshiping something else. We call them the fashion prevalent in the society that we may come across, or what other people are worshiping. Then now we want something concrete, because those people had something concrete and daily pleasure in this world. But believing in God is belief in ghaib. So it is hard to be convinced. It needs a lot of training, education. That is why, and also reflection. That is why we have to take lesson from it, thinking or knowing that we need also to educate ourselves in the teachings of the revelation. Otherwise, we will be admiring other people. And saying that, oh, you know, these people are entertaining their life, why should we not? So that is 138. And he replied, you are ignorant people. You don't know exactly what I brought to you. You don't really appreciate what I brought to you. So the following verse said, for the worship, they in هؤلاء متبر ما هم فيه وباطل ما كانوا يعملون. The the prophet Moses is continuing now, for the worship they practice will be destroyed and their deeds are in vain. We said, of course, they will be destroyed because their daily entertainment will disappear as the days are gone. So, for example, apart from the creator of the universe, the Lord of the universe, owner of the universe, whatever they attach any importance to, they will disappear from creation as days pass. So they will be left with nothing. For example, entertainment, we follow entertainment, but at the end, what is left with us? Nothing, because it goes away and doesn't satisfy us. Only if we find the origin of our creation. Excuse me. If we find our creator, we will realize that our creator is the Lord of the universe, owner of the universe. If we think a little bit, you understand that the one who cannot create the universe cannot create you within it, because you perfectly fit into it. So they, for the worship they practice will be destroyed, or whatever they worship will be destroyed, then there will be nothing left with them at the end of the day. It means at the end of our life. Even now, whatever I had is gone, and I have nothing from the past left with me, because they are all gone now. I still think that I own this. For example, I own the computer today, and I am benefiting from it. But yesterday, my ownership yesterday is gone. And you know that at the end, everybody knows that at the end, we are going. And at the end, we will be left with nothing, because I cannot take the computer with me and benefit from it. That is why we have to, it is very amazing reality that we have to keep reminding each other, and I have to remind myself as well. I have to be very thankful to my Creator, because He created hereafter. That's very important, because He created death, that I will go to hereafter. Otherwise, if there was no death, I mean, we discuss and touch upon it a lot about the subject. Otherwise, if there was no death, it means there would be no getting old. There would be no problems in this world, and I would not realize who I am, my reality. I would never feel the need to think about the Creator, my real owner, because I am fine. Everything is fine. That is why we have to be thankful to our Creator that He has given us this opportunity to, sorry, let me take this one down. He has given us this opportunity to realize that I am created. I am weak. I am impotent. I cannot guarantee anything in my life. So what is going on in this world? It is beautiful. And then I start questioning and searching for an answer. I realized that, oh, I need to be given existence. I need to be given whatever I need. And I need to be given this universe, my life, etc., etc. That is amazing reality. And I think we have to thank our Creator for life, but not, not less so, we have to thank our Creator for death, for some illnesses, shortcomings, some things that we don't feel secure, we don't feel comfortable about, we don't like. That is why we realize who we are, who we are. That is what we are created for, to realize who we are, what our reality is. That is amazing. That is very important to me. Inshallah, we will appreciate it. All right. Now, قال غير الله أبغيكم إلها وهم فضلكم على العالمين. And Moses continued speaking now, saying this, are you expecting me to seek for you a deity to worship, any being other than God, the Rabbul Alameen? We have to understand that God means the one who takes care of the universe, who creates it, of course, and takes care of it, owns it, maintains it. Everything is under his surveillance and under his control. And everything is taken care of by him. And rather than the creator of the universe, shall I seek for any part of this universe which is transient as you are, which is needy as you are, which need to be created as you do? Very interesting. That is what we are, without realizing, we may do the same thing. Rather than searching for God and asking God to give us from his blessings, I may try to say that I am going to make my life perfect, most satisfying, rather than asking God's favors, searching for God's favors, God's blessings. Rather than doing that, that is important to pay attention to, that we have to realize the importance, how precious the belief in the creator of the universe, the owner of the universe, so that I will be very comfortable. Yes, everything is his gift for me. So I am benefiting from him. So the problem is not getting from what God has provided for me. The problem is seeing that they are the source of satisfaction for me. We have to be careful to make this distinction between two. Yes, for example, let's say I am hungry. Typical example, simple example. I really repeat it a lot because it's very practical. I'm hungry, I need food. So I have two options, whether I'm going to satisfy myself with these pieces or these pieces which are collected from this world, and I eat it, they gone. I cannot really satisfy my human side with it, but my stomach only. And I know that it will continue. At the end, I will die. But I will be left with nothing. Now, On the opposite, yes, I am looking for what my creator, who created my need, has provided for me to satisfy it. When you get it, you don't worship, you don't see it as a deity, ilah. You don't see it as the one who is going to satisfy you. You know that it's going to satisfy your stomach only, your body only. Everybody is aware, but how about aware of this reality? But how about my feelings, my human side? My consciousness tells me that it's going to go away. My human side says, I need full satisfaction. And the food disappeared. What is left? With hope for next year, next time, that I will find another source of satisfaction of my body. But I know that this is the dead end. What a beautiful reality. What a beautiful way of teaching. What a beautiful way of educating me and teaching me what I am, why am I created, and where am I going? Death. Death is wonderful. Wonderful. We have to learn how to love death, how to love neediness, how to love being weak, how to love we cannot be source of satisfaction for ourselves, neither can any part of the universe be the source of satisfaction for ourselves. It is wonderful, mashallah, alhamdulillah. I'm very happy the way I am created and with the creator of me and my the universe. So it is impossible to imagine that anything will be satisfied, will satisfy me other than God, who is the owner of the universe. So, وَهُوَ فَضَّلَكُمْ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. It is translated as though it is he who has favored you above all other people. Although it means, while you know that. But وَهُوَ, I mean, although doesn't really fit into my mind, but while you are very well aware of the reality that it is he who has favored you above all other people. What does it mean? He freed you from slavery. Of course, we studied a lot about being freed from slavery. Slavery, of course, in the context, slavery of being slaves of Pharaoh's people in its historical description. But here we understand that any deed other than God, Moses says, I cannot really be a slave of anything else other than the creator of the universe, God. It means I am saved from worshiping false deities, false things that I am going to satisfy myself with this. I am going to satisfy myself with the other thing. If only I had this, I will be perfect. If only this happens, that's it. If only I get this job or this amount of income, whatever, or anything we like, then I will be very happy. We know that we had this and we were not. They are all gone. You know, I want a child to play with. It's beautiful. And gone. Why? You know that when he grows, He leaves you alone. And even you want him to get married and go away and have his own or her own home. The mothers love to see it, but while they were small babies, they love to keep them with them. So Allah arranged, God arranged everything in the perfect way. So he favored you above all other people by freeing you physically from the slavery of the Pharaoh's people, but also spiritually being slave of the parts of this universe, anything of this universe, which is like yourself, transient and disappearing in time, subject to change, and needs to be created. Dependent, like yourself. Favored you above all other people with belief in God, and you gain freedom now. You know, physically you are experiencing freedom because you went other side of the river. It means other side of the new world. So you are experiencing a new world, and I am introducing you, and you are learning who your owner, who your creator is. And also you have been seeing the miraculous creation of the universe now, rather than seeing the universe, seeing the things around you as dumb, meaningless matter. Now you know they are declaring the qualities of their creator. Beautiful, beautiful. If only, the Quran is beautiful, if only take it out of its historical context. See the universal message in it. We will try to do that, although people think that, oh, what are they talking about? No, the Quran doesn't say this. You know, children of Israel were favored with Hanna, manna, it means food from heaven, and also free water in the desert. Yeah, but they are good only for body. I don't think the Quran, I don't think God's speech aims at to teach you how your body was satisfied. It is so simple, we know that. The rain comes from heaven, from the sky. And we know that the plants grow here, and we get freely again, but they were given food from heaven. Well, do you think we have not been given food from the sky? The rain comes from sky and everything grows there, and there, earth cannot create it, cannot grow them. And they are just gifts from God, heaven. They are coming from the sky. So what is the difference between, as far as the bodily side is concerned, between me and the children of Israel under the leadership of a prophet who's called Moses? And I am in the same position. I am under the leadership of the prophet Muhammad, and I am learning from the Quran that whatever comes even out of this earth is coming from the sky, sent by the Creator. And they are coming in a miraculous way. They are coming out, they are growing in a miraculous way for me, and with full of meaning. Meaning means really introducing their Creator to me in the way that they are created. When I look at them, they cannot exist by themselves. Anything in the world, look, they're just the pomegranate you eat. Look at them. Who can make it? Who can provide it? It's obviously a miraculous creation coming from heavens, from the sky, from sky. So we are all favored. All the followers of the message of the prophets are favored above all other people who do not follow the prophetic message and try to satisfy themselves in this world. They are struggling with full of despair. And we say, no despair. Why? The owner of the universe is my owner. So comfortable I am. Alhamdulillah. So let's go verse 141. واذكر أنجيناكم من آل فرعون ويسومونكم سوء العذاب. It's a beautiful reminder. Remember that we delivered you from Pharaoh's people who afflicted you with dreadful torment. What does it mean? Delivered you from Pharaoh's people. I'm not delivered from Pharaoh's people physically. What does this verse tell me? Through the message of the prophets, God offered you the way to deliver yourself from Pharaoh's people. It means not only physical slavery is something to do with my body, but Pharaoh's ideology. Pharaoh declared himself as to be God, a God, and Lord of the land. Well, I couldn't say that I am the Lord of the universe, but I am your Lord. So it means I'm taking care of you. He died himself. How is he going to take care of me? So from these stupid ideas, a part of this universe, a person in this universe, a thing of this universe will satisfy me as my human side, as a human being. It will satisfy me as a human being, not bodily, as a human being. Even bodily cannot. Who's taking care of our bodily needs? The one who arranged this universe to be in this way. So we are also delivered from Pharaoh's ideology, like ideas, understandings of existence. So their ideas afflicted you with dreadful torment. سوء العذاب. يسومونكم سوء العذاب. They have been really afflicting you with dreadful torment. What does it mean? Again, we have to be careful. Anytime we think that this new fashion, new model of something will satisfy me, I will be super now when I have it. All right. When you have it, you know that it is going to go and you will be left with nothing. Dreadful form of torment. Now, this is a mysterious verse that the scholars struggled with. Of course, we have to appreciate them. May Allah be pleased with all of them. They struggled to understand what does it mean, what does it mean. They say, for يُقَتِّلُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. This is very important. They kept killing you. It is rightly translated as they kept killing you. It means continuously killing you, killing your sons. Killing your sons. أَبْنَاءَكُمْ. Why? This form, not يَقْتُلُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ, but يُقَتِّلُونَ, continuously killing. What does it mean? Making your sons dysfunctioned continuously. Working for not the right way, but wrong way. وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ. And left your, and they while leaving your women alive. Yeah. ويستحيون نساءكم. That's a good way of translating. While leaving your women alive, they kept killing your sons. Now, in that, that was a great trial from your Lord. Let's leave the last part. It is important to understand this. What sons, or killing your sons mean? And leaving your women alive. We know that sons in the culture generally source of labor, but women is the source of production. Of course, women can get pregnant, but men cannot. But men have to work hard in order to support women so that they will give birth to new children. Be productive. Now, according to Pharaoh's understanding, sons must be killed. Why? How? If it is very wise to think that if Pharaoh kept killing the sons of many children of Israel, they should have no children at the end. What am I going to do with women anymore? There are no men left. It doesn't make sense. There should be no further generation. But they went other side of the sea and entertained the freedom. It means entertained the freedom of worshiping only and expecting everything from the Creator and benefiting everything of this universe under the as a result of the acknowledgement of their real owner. They were alive. They were people. Not only women were left and men are killed. So it should not, my understanding, not only my understanding, very rare scholars' understanding, it should not represent the physical killing of men. Instead, really those people who produce good, to produce truth, to present truth, were killed. They made silent, quietened. Now, what is happening? Look at this reality that I love to apply this verse to today's conditions. Those people who are working how the universe, in order to discover how the order of the universe is working, making research, etc. Can they really do anything in favor of the truth? Can they really declare and say anything supporting the truth? If they do, they will be killed. It means they will be fired from their job. They will be dysfunctioned. They will be just sent home and declared as unemployed. And these intelligent people cannot do taxi driving, cannot run a shop or any business. They are not talented there. They are the people who are investigating in laboratories and finding out how the universe is working. That's it. And producing technology. If they are silenced, What is left? Those people who are producing what Pharaoh and pharaonic ideas want. They work, unfortunately, I know, and I'm sure you know many, many believing scientists. They work, produce, like women are producing babies. They work and produce lots of technological gadgets or the discoveries in order to contribute to technological developments, in order to make other people rich. Of course, capital owners rich and richer and richer, but they cannot produce any truth. So Pharaoh left them living a lie. This pharaonic ideology of the secularist civilization left, as long as a believing, practicing Muslim brothers, sisters, okay, as long as they work and contribute to the technological development, but never say the truth, but interpret everything in terms of nature, contributing to pharaonic ideology. It is so heartbreaking reality of our time. We have to wake up. You shouldn't contribute. Try. It is very saddening. Unfortunately, even nowadays, what we do, we give birth to children to bring them up. What they do, they go to school, they are indoctrinated under the influence of secularist ideology, secularist worldview, and they contribute to the economy of the country. So the capital owners are going to make more profit out of their work. We produce labor to this secularist ideology. Unfortunately, this is our reality. We have to think about it and seek refuge with Allah and try to escape it as much as possible. Try our work. Try our best. How I can contribute to spread the message. I am prevented from one way. You cannot teach reality, God, in school. Okay, I can teach out of school. Look another way. I can share the truth with others in another way. The prophets always prevented by the nobles of the society. Did they stop spreading the message? No. No, they didn't really contribute to pharaonic ideologies. What did they do? They resist. They tried their way, their best to spread the message to others. Now, that is now the last section of this, last piece of this verse is, وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ عَظِيمٌ. And in that was a great trial from your Lord. That is how we are tried. That is how we are being educated, taught in this world, how we should resist the wrong ideas, wrong way of life, inhuman life, and find the best way. Trial is this. Here is an obstacle. How are you going to go over it? How? That's what we have to work on it. It's not easy at all, but we have to work hard. What prophet find a society ready to listen to it? In the example of the Quran. Which one? What prophet didn't have to struggle at their best until they say, as the Quran says, I cannot do anything more than this, my God. Why? Where is the help from you? That is what Quran says. The answer is until they said that قالوا متى نصر الله. When Allah's help is come, I cannot do anything. I'm not successful. إلا نصر الله قريب. It's beautiful, beautiful struggle. Don't you think that God's help is very near? If not in this world, definitely this world will end up in hereafter. There must be another way, because it's English, what do they say? What do we keep hearing that death is the best equalizer? No, not at all. My body-wise, yes. My claim-wise, yes. My claim. My property-wise, yes. I have little, maybe nothing. The other one has everything, much more than he has. Equalizer, death comes, and I will be left with nothing. That person will be left with nothing. We will be equal in zero conditions. Balance zero in my account, in his account or her account, balance zero. Equalizer, materially. How about the human side? I acknowledged truth, enjoyed it, practiced it, and I was grateful. Inshallah, I'm taking for granted that I am a good man or representing the good side. I can't guarantee it, but inshallah, my hope is, yes, why not? I should be. Yeah, every one of us. And he will be in loss because he said, matter is my source of satisfaction. A part of this world, a piece of this world. Pharaoh is my Lord, okay. Or the house is my Lord, the car is my Lord, my bank account is my Lord. I all said, where are they? Gone. What am I left with? Nothing. Now, is it equal? Or what was the word? Hell, if someone, let me see who are here. Let me see. There was a friend who could do this search for me. Yestawiyan. Allahu Akbar. I couldn't remember the word. We said, in the result of these two people or the conditions of these two people are equal. In our example, the one who appreciated the giver, one who denied the giver, will be equal even in this world. If somebody gives two gifts to two people, one of them gets it and says, No, you don't give it to me. It is mine. And I'm going to use it. And this one satisfies me. You have nothing to do with it. And the other one says, thank you very much. It is very useful. I am using it as your gift, and I will remember you. Dhikr. Remember you as I have been using it. I appreciate it, and I'm going to use your gift in the best way. What do you think this person who gives the gift to these two people, do you think he will give it again to the one who just destroyed it and didn't appreciate it, didn't use it in the right way, as it should be used? Of course, I wouldn't give it. You wouldn't give it either, because he's going to destroy it again. But the other one appreciated and really using this machine, let's say, yeah, so good, halfway good computer. I'm using it fully. I'm appreciating it. And I'm saying that, thank you very much. It's very useful, very useful. If only it had the computer program had more capacity, I would benefit it more. And if the gift giver has another computer or other computers who have these computers have much more capacity, will he not give it to me or not? Think about it. He will say, oh, this man is appreciating fully and he's wanting more. And I have it with me. Let me give it to him as a gift so that he will benefit it. I enjoy it, seeing that he is really benefiting from it. That's what God loves. Those people who appreciate the Creator and uses their capacity, human capacity, as the Creator has provided them with.
Were you referring to verse Zumar, verse 9, 39:9?
Sorry?
Were you referring to section Zumar about the verse you were asking about yastawa, equal?
Yes, the one.
Like this.
Which chapter did you say? Which section did you say?
39:9.
39:9? No. I don't. Oh, let me see. What's that? Oh,
You were asking about yastawi.
no. What is that? 39, verse 9. Okay. "38 start, 39, Zumar. Yes. And 9. Let me see. Okay. أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة ويرجون رحمة ربه قل هل يستوي الذين يعملون والذين لا يعلمون إنما. I didn't really exactly meant this verse, but this does the job. This does the job. قل هل يستوي الذين يعملون والذين لا يعلمون. يستويان. But two of them can be the two of them equal, but here is the same thing. Those people who know and those people who don't know the reality, of course, the truth, of course. Do they will they be the same? Of course, won't be. No, even an employer will employ the one who is better equipped. That is how the reality of this world, and that is how we are given the ability to share, to understand what God creates. No, the word there, yestewiyan, not Yestewi, Yestewi, yeah. But this does the work. Don't worry about it. Let's concentrate on our work. So this is a great trial from your Lord. That is what we are being tried here, or given the opportunity to learn what the truth is. So we have to be ready to struggle, to keep the truth, to keep the word of God upheld. That is what we have to do it. Inshallah. Another comment? 140, 141. Otherwise, inshallah, we have some more minutes and we can work, maybe study some more verses, inshallah. Any comment, anything I don't see, I will go. All right. Now, very difficult. And it is very difficult, not only for me, for the scholars. It was very difficult, let alone me. This verse, it doesn't mean that we cannot benefit from it, but many opinions expressed by the scholars about these verses. But what I do here, my conclusions as a result of all reading all of them as much as I could. So we appointed 30 nights for Moses, and then added 10 more. It is interesting. What does it mean? And why does tell me this? 30 nights, and then added 10 more. But by the way, it means 30 Layla. It does not necessarily mean that the dark part of the day. It means night. In the Arabic language, it is a, if I say, or if an original Arabic speaker says, we had a 5 nights journey. It means 5 days journey. But why Allah doesn't say 30 layla? Rather than, what doesn't say 30 yawman, but rather say 30 layla. So we have to think about it. It is not that it is unimportant. No, it is important. Maybe 30, of course, we have to study. 30 is different subject. Later, something that needs to be enlightened. Human beings need to be enlightened. Most of the time, the Quran uses the Laylatul Qadr. Inshallah, we are going to experience that, the revelation of the Quran to our daily life, inshallah. And this is Ramadan, the month of the Quran, but Laylatul Qadr is the peak, reaching the peak as much as we can, of course, of the realization of the truthfulness of the revelation. Inshallah. That is Layl. What? It needs to be enlightened. This meaning, I feel, is, I feel in my understanding as a result of, I'm not inventing anything. That is, I'm not a genius man, originating everything by myself. No, reading, comparing, and then, I think in this age, 21st century, I can understand from this verse as a result of the conclusion of my information I gathered from the books. So information is not important. So we know that nowadays information is available in Google, and even you lose your computer, everything is digital, but now in cloud. It's preserved. Don't worry about it. It's preserved. You get another computer, and then you get it downloaded from clouds. So it is so significant. It is everywhere now. All the books are available there. Information is nothing. That's why I really give I attach no importance to information. But what did you get? What did I get? What did I get as a result of my reading? And what did I get by studying the grammatic structure of these verses, which I love it? What did I get? My understanding, Layla means something that human beings need to be enlightened. So, any number in the world, in the Quran, should not be taken literally. No, it is figurative. Most of the presentations of the Quran are figurative. So we have to apply it to our real life conditions, real living conditions. So 30 and Asher, something proportion. There is a proportion here. Be careful. First, 30 Layla, the 30 nights, and then edit 10 nights. Fetemme miqatu Rabbi. Then so that edit 10 more, so that the term set by his Lord, miqat. Those people who are familiar with appointment time, appointment place, appointment tools of appointment, miqat. It means it comes from waqata. It means time. So miqat, appointment set by his Lord. It is the term set by his Lord means given appointment time. I'll see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Or do you understand? I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Miqatu Rabbi, his Lord. So وَأَتَمَّ بِعَشْرٍ وَفَتَمَّ مِيقَاتُ رَبِّي. It means this appointed time is completed with additional 10. It means not necessarily 30 and Ashur 30 and 10. It could have been, for example, 300 and 100. For example, the Quran says, sit, 6, 7, it means a few. And 16, 17, it is not in Arabic 16, 17 means quite a lot. But, for example, 1,000, elfun or alafun, thousands are a lot, really. But 50,000 سنة, you know this, Uruj, the Quran mentions about how the angels is sent to God in 50,000 years. It is for human imagination. But I will come there. I will come to this point. 50,000 is really unimaginable distance. For the first audience, I don't think they can imagine, I couldn't think they can imagine more than this, but we can imagine nowadays millions, billions, trillions, etc. So but we have to understand these numbers according to our living conditions. So experience capacity, you can say 50,000 سنة, trillions of years. So here, don't really think about the exact number, but somehow related to these numbers as well. Let's think about it. I understood this. I understood this. In order to reach the perfection of realization of your Lord, You are given one section, 30 days, another additional section, 10 days. Now, what does it mean? Proportion was looks like a fourth. 10 is a fourth of 40. 30 is 3, 3 fourths of 40. Now, we understand the Quran needs to be studied, and belief education needs to take more than half of our time, but a quarter of it needs to be practiced or saved for practicing it. The Quran teaches us in belief matters, foundations of belief, but a fourth of it is about practical, ethical, moral, or worship, ritualistic sides, practical side. As a human being in this world, how can I apply what I have been learning from the teachings of the Quran for more than half of my life, 2/3 of my life, now 1/3 of my daily life will be devoted to putting it into practice. We understand, for example, from the life of the Prophet, he spent, as the Quran's teaching continued, he educated people personally, one by one, which is called in Darul Erkam. You know that, in Darul Erkam. So one by one, teaching them in a group, teaching the Quran or the message of the essence, the core of the message of the Quran, years and years and years, under very, very, very difficult years. Afterwards, migrated to Medina and started practicing it, but still teaching of the essentials of belief, continued, and struggle, wars upon wars, continued, but at the same time, as a result, a perfect administrative, practical, personal, and at the social level, practical side of this belief was gifted to the Prophet. That is only a quarter of his whole struggle. We have to understand practical side. So not only fiqh rules, no, ethical values as well. How to be a perfect man, perfect, virtuous, trustful man in this world, person in this world, was practiced throughout the education or the teachings of the Quran and practical life of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And then the term set by his Lord was completed. He left the world. This is how we are going to do it. We have to concentrate on more belief side of the teachings of the Quran, work on our understanding of the reality of our existence, and practice it as well. But let me put it into a very, very simple example, but very simplified example. Don't misunderstand, it represents any reality at all. I have to study 2/3 of my life what the Quran is teaching, 1/3 of my life, practice it in my physical life. But while I am teaching, of course, it must be practiced as well. But in a very coarse and bad example, I'm giving this because we don't pay attention to it. We don't study the Quran in order to really educate ourselves. Usually, I'm saying you don't. No. Generally, the Muslim community, not benefiting from the Quran's aspect, which teaches belief side of the matters. But we are crazy about practical side. But this proportion shows us it must be in the reverse. That is what I really love these verses. وقال موسى لأخيه هارون اخلفني في قومي وأصلح ولا تتبع سبيل المفسدين. He knows. Moses said to his brother Aaron, take my place among my people. I'm going a bit back because I noticed that the time is really, really up and the iftar time is approaching for many of us. So take my place among my people, act righteously and do not follow the way of those who spread corruption. So take my place among my people. What does it mean? Every one of us should try to leave some people who are going to take place among his people in his mission, to fulfill his mission. We have to really try to, how do you say, leave Khalifa. For example, Prophet left Khalifa. Prophet left some people behind it. After the death of the Prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him, what happened? Thousands, tens of thousands of scholars studied the Quran, studied his way of life, and carried on spreading the message all over the world as much as they could. We have to continue this. So the followers of the Prophet Prophet Muhammad are his caliphs, if you like, taking his place. He's carrying the mission he performed, and don't follow the way of those who spread corruption. So his brother Aaron, then the Musa will come and get angry with him. So we will study that in the following verses, inshallah. So we are warned that, look, while we are doing this, we should not follow those mufsidin, the way of mufsidin. It means who spread corruption, fasad in the world. So we should try to avoid from contributing to the people who spread corruption in the world. So we should try to watch out what we are doing, what we are contributing to the corrupt people's way of life, maybe economy, maybe political life. We have to be very, very, very careful not to try to avoid it. So, and we have to educate people also as much as possible, educate ourselves, and as much as possible to share our experiences with other people, that we should be careful with what we are buying, selling, or whatever we are doing. We should be careful about what the job we are doing, how we are really using the job and utilizing the job. How am I going to really contribute to the welfare of the people, not in the material side only, but mostly with the spiritual side. how can I contribute them so that I will help myself not to contribute to the corruption, but also I will warn people or share my ideas with other people. Hey, don't do that. Don't make, for example, Israel. So it is difficult, but last, let's listen to Afshan, inshallah. Yes, Afshan, go ahead.
Earlier you said with regards to the term set of 40 nights, that 3/4 is belief matter and 1/4 is application of the belief matter. That's what I understood. But when I read this verse, like, how did you come to this conclusion, Dr. Murmur, based on this verse? Like, we just know that 30 was initially appointed and then 10 was added. I feel confused on this.
Yeah, all right. Not only you, many people confused. I am confused as well. This is the only way I found to understand that I shouldn't take the numbers as numbers in the Quran, because every scholar agrees that numbers in the Quran are figurative. Every means, with small exception, some people are crazy about literal reading, but scholars also say that literally it means as it is translated here, but the meaning is not figurative, so we have to understand what it means. So they tried their best to say something. I found the best way of understanding it in proportion-wise. First, 13 Layla, it means definitely these 30 days, sorry. Thelathina, I am confusing the language, 13. You see the old age confusions. So, Thelathina Layla, it was 30 days. Let's read it as days here. So it is explained that it means days in Arabic usage. So they know that. So 30 days, foundations, but we need practice. Foundations, but what am I going to do with it? Practice it. So go back. Excuse me this. Fetemme miqatu rabbi. So sorry. فأتممناها بعشر فتم ميقات ربي. So we added 10 days in order to reach the appointment to meet with God perfectly, to be a perfect abd. This addition, what is that? Of course, I have to think. That is my conclusion. That is, I said, I think we should understand it in these terms, because we see in the practices of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, this is almost somehow looks like it. And also the proportion of the Quran in teaching almost looks like it. So I said, I think I can understand this in this way. Otherwise, I cannot see the universal message in it. If you can see the universal message in another way, I love to listen to you, hear you, really, and listen to you. But scholars struggled about it. I am struggling about it. That is my only way. I'm not saying this is the best and only I am true. No. That is my conclusion. There must be a best way of understanding it, but as far as my search showed me, the others didn't make sense to me. 30 days, but Allah favored him in other 10 days. Why? Why is he telling me this? I keep asking this question. Why are you telling me this now in 21st century? I am listening to you in 21st century in my life in New York. What am I going to do with this message? And I came up with this conclusion. Why I said I edit later on, I understood that. For example, 3/4 of your life, your being needs spiritual training. 1/4 is physical practice of it through your body, in your interaction with the physical world and with the society, for example. I said, this is really, according to my reality once, according to the example of the Prophet Muhammad's life, alayhi salatu wassalam, and according to the proportion of the Quran, it goes well. I said, I can benefit in this way. In another person can benefit in another way. I would like to hear them. But the rest, Allah favored them in another 10 days. The Moses needed it. What does it mean for me? Didn't make sense. Practically didn't make sense. And it didn't fit to the reality of being the Quran as being the universal message. I have to see the universality in the meaning. That is why, my friend Afshan, I understood it, not literally. Of course, Quran cannot be read literally. Only you can read the verses related to fiqh matters literally. You cannot really see that they are figurative. Because in the practice of the Prophet never took the fiqh related verses as literal, as figurative. The rest all figurative. Inshallah, I'm not imposing anything to anyone, but inshallah, we have to understand that this needs to be interpreted, inshallah. I don't know whether it's satisfactory or not, what you say, but if someone is not satisfied, I would say you are right, but come up with a better option. Inshallah. It is not challenging. No, very humble request. I couldn't find it. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. May Allah accept your fasting.
Ameen. Yours as well.
Wassalamu alaikum to Huda, Sister Huda. Salam alaikum. All of you, inshallah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Jazakumullah. See you, tomorrow or any day, next Monday, Saturday, as you are free, as much as you can. I love to see you here. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.